98% of our media is filled with propaganda, but the propaganda champions in the United States of America, that would be conservative media. I posted a video yesterday. This is how predictable they are, how partisan they are, how filled with propaganda they are. I posted a video yesterday saying that conservative media would not post about AOC raising $3.2 million to help Republicans in a red state. Yes, I know everyone there is not a Republican, but I guarantee you a lot of Republicans will be helped. A lot of conservatives will be helped by the $3.2 million, now $4 million that AOC raised as a New Yorker. These are not the people that are going to vote for her. And these people are so disgusting, they can't even just say thank you. They can't even just say thank you. Ben Shapiro, Tim Pool, Crowder, Blaze TV. It's too difficult to report on, hey, AOC actually did a good thing. Now, if she had done it for New Yorkers, you could play a game and say she just did it for votes, it's for PR or whatever it is. But she did it for Texans. There's a lot of people in New York who could use some help, and she could raise money for that. But she chose to raise money for Texas. Now, I'm not going to get into the reasons behind why she did it. Think about if I right now went and I donated $1 million to a homeless shelter. Does it really matter why I did it? Does it really matter why I did it? I mean, isn't the right thing to do to thank me for doing a good thing? Isn't the right thing to do if Ben Shapiro, if Tim Pool, if Blaze TV, if Steven Crowder had any integrity? Isn't the right thing to do, AONN and Newsmax, to simply say, hey, this woman that we've been demonizing and calling so evil, she did a good thing, and now tomorrow we can go back to hating on her again and saying she's evil? And this is not a video supporting AOC at all. I am not an AOC fan. I'm not here singing praises of AOC. I'm just all about truth. And the truth is, she did an amazing thing. And the truth is, conservative media is too disgusting and too dishonest to simply acknowledge it. Look at the coverage, 80% left. And this is not a surprise. I already knew this was too good of a thing for them to report. This is how they keep their audience ignorant. It's the same thing that the liberal media does, but conservative media takes it to an entirely different level. When you look at liberal media and not reporting honestly about the riots that have been going on for over 100 days and have been happening even this year, when you look at that, when you look at Biden not really doing much about it and the media not really saying much about it, they're keeping their audience ignorant about what's happening with the far left extremists, the real far left extremists, not the Joe Biden far left extremists, because he's not a far left extremist. He's not far left. Might as well be a Republican, right? They're keeping their audience ignorant about what the far left extremists are actually doing. Conservative media is keeping their audience ignorant about so much, about why Texas had this blackout, right? And even CNN failed with that because they referenced, this has never happened before or something. 2011 CNN, right? They're more honest and they're giving you more information about it, but they let that slip out and somehow no one noticed it. But those are the professional journalists. That's a number five in the country, right? Right. But conservative media keeping their audience ignorant about really what happened in Texas, why there's a blackout. Conservative media keeping their audience ignorant about the Democrats and AOC and Joe Biden. How can you know or have a judgment about these people if the media you're consuming is not informing you about them? If conservative media only talks about AOC when they have something negative to say, oh, look what she did. She can't even say I almost died in a situation where she could have died. She can't even say that. That's a problem. Oh, AOC is theatrical. Everybody, listen, they completely didn't cover all of the post-Capitol attack stories. Dozens and dozens and dozens of stories not reported at all in conservative media. Blaze TV, Tim Pool, Crowder, Shapiro, not reported, right? But then AOC says, I could have died during the attack. Oh, that's a big story. 2, 3 videos, each of them, multiple videos. AOC, AOC, AOC. Now AOC raises $4 million for Republicans and conservative media doesn't even want to talk about that. So if all you hear about is how much she sucks, and whenever she does a good thing, you don't hear about it, then that means that you're brainwashing your audience, and this is the essence of propaganda. You're shaping your audience's opinions about this woman, because all they hear is a negative, so they're going to have a very negative view of her, right? They're not going to have necessarily an accurate view of her, because everything they know comes from a source that is tainted, a source that is slanted, a source that is propaganda, right? And then the worst part of this potentially is the fact that the same conservative media likes to call out the same behavior that happens in liberal media. It absolutely does happen in liberal media, but you don't have a right to talk about it when you're doing the same thing and actually 10 times worse. Yes, I am heated, but it's disgusting. Look at this, 5% coverage on the right. And again, I called it yesterday. I said I would pay $100 if somebody reported on this story, one of the major conservative channels. And I called it yet again. Not a single one of them reported on it. Now we have a single source, Breitbart, of all people. And I wonder how they covered it. Let me add another element to this. Your viewers, conservatives, Republicans, I'm talking the conservative media. Your viewers are in the darkness, freezing and dying. You got to get millions of subscribers. Instead of using your audience to raise money yourself to help out your viewers, to be a real conservative and help out conservatives that are suffering, you want to use the crisis and the suffering of conservatives to line your pockets with more money. Tim Pool literally using this to sell some kind of rations or whatever, disaster recovery supplies. He's trying to make money from this. The other YouTubers in conservative media making money from it by, windmills, cancer. Instead of trying to help the people that made you guys rich elites living in your mansions, so you can sit around and talk about things that don't even affect you, right? You don't have to deal with the consequences of what you're doing by warping the brains of your audience, which influences their voting decisions, which essentially results in the swamp staying in power, right? Because you guys just, I don't like Republicans, but you won't talk about it. You won't spend any time educating your audience about the swamp on the right. So your audience keeps voting for them. The same swamp that you claim you don't like, why are you working for them then? Why are you supporting Cruz? A disgusting disgrace like Cruz. Why is it worth your time to defend a guy like Cruz who doesn't care about anybody else but himself? He represents exactly what you guys claim you hate about the Republican Party, but you're going to spend your time talking about him instead of doing a simple story and saying, hey, AOC raised $4 million. That's great. I don't like her politics. I don't like her, but this was actually a good thing that she did. End of story. Post another video. Oh, Cruz, that was disgusting that he abandoned his people. He could have done stuff. It looks bad. End of story. Don't flip it to, the left and Cuomo, lying about Cuomo not being covered when he is being covered. This is actually very, very good information. The fact that this is a red state, these are the viewers of conservative media that are suffering, that are dying, and conservative media wouldn't lift a finger to help their own viewers. Instead, they potentially hurt their viewers by attacking the person who's helping them. Why should AOC or any Democrat be helping conservatives and Republicans if they support and consume media from disgusting people like we see in conservative media? Biting the hand that feeds them, all for the almighty dollar. Yet we're all afraid about socialism. Nobody cares about capitalism. Capitalism has people dying right now, in the darkness right now, freezing right now. That's capitalism. If not for capitalism, they would have winterized the equipment and the equipment would have shut down and they wouldn't be dying and in the cold right now. actively dying from capitalism. But no one has any fear of capitalism. It's all about socialism. The thing that we have right now that people are benefiting from. We have socialism benefits, social programs. We have social programs in this country right now that people rely on and are benefiting from right now. That's keeping Americans afloat right now. While at the same time, capitalism is killing people. But no one's afraid of capitalism. They're only concerned about socialism. And to be clear, we don't want socialism. We don't want capitalism either. We want sensible policies that's in that golden zone in between. A little bit of capitalism, a little bit of socialism. That's what we already have. But the thing is, where we fit in that range. Right in the middle, right of the middle, left of the middle, towards more social or towards more capitalist. As we try to figure out where we should be and what works, if we're going to be afraid of going too far towards socialism, then we should also be too afraid of going too far towards capitalism, because capitalism right now is killing us. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well. Shout out to Harry, Knack, Alan, and Lindsay. Where's Lindsay? I haven't seen him in a while. Mr. T. Bum ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 bum. AOC raises $1 million in Texas relief headed to Houston as Ted Cruz douses Cancun flames. Too difficult of a story to report. How can we live in a country where half the country lives in a bubble and the other half lives in another bubble, and both halves only see the bubble that their political opponents live in and not their own? Therein lies the American paradox, right?